Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
It is time for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. Call me right now, 1-800-252-1025, or we'll happily take your emails at lifecoach@kzok.com. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Let's start with Jess in Lake Stevens. Good morning to you, Jess.
Good morning, gang.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Incredibly well. What can we do for you?
Good. I got in trouble. I've been married for 10 years, and we got married in Vegas. And when we went to Vegas, my husband, I pulled a Danny, which is I meet somebody, fall in love, and want to get married within 30 seconds. So
boy, that is exactly pulling a Danny. You're right about that.
So we went to Vegas. We're driving up and down the strip, and he says, this place looks really nice. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, please don't go in here. We went in there. We walk up. We get married. I had been married in the same exact place several years before.
Oh, man, the Shevitz.
And I didn't want to ruin the day for my husband. And so we get up there, and it's the same reverend. I'm thinking, please don't recognize me. Please don't recognize me. So he doesn't. So I think I'm in the clear. And a couple of days ago, he found my lockbox of stuff, just kind of your old stuff.
Yeah.
And he finds a marriage certificate. He looks at it. It's the same place. It's the same reverend. And he looks at me, and he said, are you kidding me? I got in so much trouble, and I don't know how to dig myself out.
Well, in a way, rightly so. You kind of had that one coming. One, you should have pulled the plug on that when you saw it was going to be the same place. Then when you saw it was going to be the same minister, you had to get out of it. But here's my other question for you, because I'm a little troubled with this. Why does anybody have a lockbox anymore? Why don't you have something outside this house, anything? That's begging for trouble, and I know I'm right because he opened it for you. Why'd you have that?
It wasn't locked. It was just this little box that I kept stuff in. You could lock it, but I didn't lock it.
Which is probably smart. If I saw a locked box in my house, I'd be crazy.
No. He just went in there and found it. And I thought, he was so excited on that day, and I didn't want to ruin it and say, I've been married here before. I didn't want to wreck it for him.
How many times have you been married?
2.
Wow, what are the odds of getting married in the same place by the same guy? So here,
Wait, did he know that you were married before at all?
Yeah, he knew you'd been married before, right?
He knew I'd been married. He knew I'd been married in Vegas. He just didn't know it was that exact
this
place.
guy's better than I am, especially if you jump me back a couple of years. I don't like going to the same restaurant my wife's been with another guy. I don't go to amusement parks where my wife has been with another guy. And I certainly, I'm getting mad now. I wouldn't go to a concert with a band she liked with another guy. No. Just not doing it, Jess. Oh, okay. I'm all right. So,
No. He's the same way. He is so possessive. I mean, he go around, he could pee on every tree in our property so nobody could ever come and, look at me.
Well, I'd like to see him do that because that sounds like a challenge. I'm going to take him up on that challenge and see who can do it faster all around your property. So here's the thing. You're going to have to be being straightforward with people. I know it's an instinct. I don't know if it's your instinct. It would be my instinct to just start lying. You say, that guy meant nothing to me. I'd completely forgotten that this is where he got me. But I'm going to suggest this to you, Jess. You be straight with him. You tell him the same story you just told me. I knew this would drive you crazy. That guy doesn't mean anything to me. I don't think about him. I'm so proud to be your wife, and I didn't want to ruin the day. And I'm sorry, dear. I should have told you. And if I get that opportunity again, I will. And I swear to God, I think he's going to eat that up because you can't think about this because I fight. I'm a fighter. I hate, oh my God, have you done? He can't win this fight. He can't go, what can he do? Unmarry you? So he's going to have to understand. So if you just tell him straight, hey, I didn't mean it. I knew you'd get mad. I'm really sorry. He's going to come around with literally in one sentence. And all right, I understand. There's a lot of excitement going on. Don't do it again. And you can't do it again because you're never going to get divorced from him because you love him so much. And you need to tell him that a lot. But just be honest with him on this, Jess. And that one will work itself out. A lot of them won't. That one will.
The next caller on Danny Bonaduce Life Coach is Alexis in Olympia.
Hey, Alexis.
Good morning.
Morning.
So I have a youth athletic dilemma, which I've had many. I've called you on before.
Right.
My son plays tennis, and they recently had a challenge to get them qualified for.
Oh, your phone's cutting out, and I really want to hear this.
Alexis should probably call back, and in the meantime, we'll talk with Mike.
Yeah, because youth athletics, I got to talk to you about that. Hey, Mike and Kent, what's up?
Good morning, Danny. So I've got a guy that is the father of my daughter's kid. They just had a kid 6 months ago.
Jeez.
I let the guy move in with me, with us. Told him, $200 a month's rent. He says there shouldn't be no problem. He makes really good money. And at the end of every month, he's got some type of an excuse why it is that he can't come up with $200.
So this is an adult man with children, living with the daughter, living with the father of his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So this guy screams to me, loser. He's got loser written all over him. Is that the case, Mike, or is there something else I'm not getting?
No, he's a loser. I mean, I like the guy, but every time I turn around, he's got some kind of an excuse. I let him there so he can be a part of his daughter's life because my daughter doesn't have a lot of self-esteem. She doesn't have a lot of friends. So I'm trying to play nice guy, but every time I turn around, I catch this guy in a freaking lie. And I'm like, I don't live my life, with a lot of people pity parties.
Right. Well, I think you're exactly right, Mike. And those pity parties are what cause people to be, I'm being serious here when I talk about a guy being a loser, and that's in general, not just this guy, but wallowing in your self-pity. That's what makes people losers, because people will accept that. And Mike won't, which I appreciate it. So here's what I think you got to do, Mike, because you did say he make a comfortable living. He makes a fair amount of money. I think you got to either be seriously and kick them out, and that includes your daughter and the child. He makes a decent living. They're not going to start their lives together if everybody coddles them. Or you do this, you set a time frame, so you give them some time to save up some money and get going. But they need to step on out. They're never going to become the man and woman that they should, while a real man, Mike, is taking care of them. They need to hit the bricks, get a job, let the kid go to child care or daycare while they're both out working. And that's, coddling them won't work. These people need to make their own way. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate the call, but they need to take care of themselves now. You're off the hook. You've done it already. You took care of them. You took care of yourself, you took care of your wife. Right. These guys got to go now, even though one of these guys is your kid.
And even if they make that threat, maybe they'll then say, "Oh, maybe we should start paying."
Yeah,
them. Threaten them. John in Auburn, you are on with Danny Bonaduce.
Hey, John.
Hey, Danny, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I could be better.
What do you got going on?
Short. A couple of years back, I was diagnosed with a couple different got bipolar disorder too.
All right, so because your phone's going in and out. You've been diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
Yeah, anxiety.
Oh, I can't even complain about our phones. I think it's just general.
It could be
Try again. It sounds like we got him now. Okay, been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and
anxiety
and depression.
Can you imagine his phone's cutting out? What that's doing for his anxiety? Come on, Bonaduce, fix your phone. All right, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah. So here, I'm going to read your thing because obviously your phone's cut down. You have a problem. You've been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. You also have an anxiety disorder, and you think your mom is also bipolar. What should you do? Dun, 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 dun. Is that your situation there, John?
Yeah, more how I can tell her to see a psychiatrist or get some help because it's starting to really interfere with all of other things.
All right, here's the thing. I want to be straightforward and say that, whatever way you want to say it, it's your behavior has got me doing this. I think the one thing you do is talk to you about how much better it will be for her. You look at Amanda Bynes, and I don't know if you've been following that. She's a great kid, or at least she was when I knew her, and now she's in the middle of the street with purple wigs doing crazy, crazy stuff. And the answer to that problem is because they stopped taking their meds. Psych meds work, but what happens is you get better and you don't think you're crazy once you stop taking them, and then you get crazy anymore. There are so many things that you can do to point this out to your mom that her life will be better if she goes to see a doctor. And you know what? Even if she doesn't address her bipolar disorder, and you're a layman, you can't really do that, but I'm betting you're right. It never hurts to see a psychiatrist. I think it's a fine thing. And those doctors, the PhDs that don't give you drugs, and just sit there and talk about your problems, that's kind of awesome too. So I think if you're just straightforward on this and say, Mom, and here's what you want to do for sure, John, use your relationship. This will do so much, Mom, to bolster our relationship. We'll become so much closer. I fear that we've been drifting apart, and I think, if you saw a doctor and they told you you're bipolar disorder, you'll get medication. If you don't, I'll know you don't, and I'll be able to back up off you. But either way, don't you think we should be closer together? And when a kid says that to your parent, they're going to say, yeah, in a big way. I'd love to be closer to you, John, because I'm your mom and I love you. I swear to God, if that's the way you couch it, like, we'll be tighter if you do this, I'm sure she will do it. Hey, thanks there, John.
Joe in Olympia, you're on with Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
Hey, Joe.
Good morning.
What's up, buddy?
I'm 37 years old,
Yeah.
and I'm married, and I'm about to have a baby.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. The only downer is, I think, with life, universe, and everything in it, I don't know what's wrong. I can't seem to kick the feeling inside that I just want to scream and yell and just freak out on the world, but yet I can't do it.
Well, you know what? I will tell you something, my man. As long as you do it in the right and healthy way, freak it out and yell at the world, not necessarily a bad thing. Now, try not to go on a water tower with a rifle. That's a bad way to do that. But you know what? To have a strong opinion, go online. If you've got something bothering you specifically, say it's politics. That's a big one. That doesn't normally bother me, but it bothers a lot of people. You're going to find like-minded people on the internet for sure. And that's an answer to a lot of things. If you've got something bother you and you want to talk about it, there are so many people that feel almost identical to the way you feel, or the mirror reverse of the way you feel, and they'll all yell at you, and you get so much stuff out of your system if you go on the internet and find these people. And having said that, and I recommended this to the last young man, try seeing somebody about this. And if you think you're stuck in a rut, man, that kid you've got coming is going to change a lot of things in your life. You're about to get real grateful and real headache and tear your hair out every now and again. And I think you're probably not going to want to yell and scream at the world anymore when your kid comes along, at least for the first year, because you're just going to be so damn confused. And I think that's a great thing for you because you just have a little too much time to think. And the last thing I'll tell you, get on a treadmill. This is something I devised with my last wife, my ex-wife, she wouldn't come to a gym with me. And I just threw this out there because I thought it might be true. I said, try having a problem at 6 miles an hour. She didn't realize what I meant. I took her to the gym with me. We got on the treadmill for a second at 6.
Yeah.
And nobody can breathe in my family. Nobody's been shaving. We're going, you just can't think of anything else at all. You can't think I'm fat or whatever it was that was bothering you. Not at 6 miles an hour. So head to a gym. That's my last thing for you, Joe. Good luck.
We had another caller with a pretty great question whose cell phone also wasn't really working all that well.
It's the rain, I guess.
It was Jordan. Mike, would you like to ask Jordan's question?
Well, he's just been offered drugs by a guy who hangs out in the neighborhood, and he doesn't know how to deal with it because he doesn't want to accept. He's 14.
14, I want to, the 14, because I was going to say this. I'm going to say, take them, go home, throw it out, and if the guy's a real problem, call the cops. But you're 14 and I don't like it. First thing you do, you'll change that guy's whole afternoon if you accept it. You're a minor. You're 14. You're a real live kid. Whether you know that, I was going to say the word child, but Jordan doesn't feel like a child. So you're a kid, you're young, you're little. You can't get on certain rides at the amusement park because you can't do it. You're 14. I think if this guy even hint of being a problem, you need to call the cops. And then I think done the right way, as long as they will respond in the way that you understand, you might want to tell your mom and dad. Mom and dads are not the geeks you think they are. If you say, listen, don't call the cops, don't flip out, I just don't want to go walk down the block and have problems, I think they'll listen to you and let them figure it out, because you'll be surprised, my friend, and I really do appreciate the phone call. But every now and again, when you're 14 years old, the best life coach is going to be your mom. Go talk to your mom about it. Hey, good luck and thanks for the calls, everybody. That's all the time we have for Danny Bonaduce on Life Coach. Life Coach, by the way, brought to you by Goldberg Joe's Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.